Welcome back to the Daingeon, everybody. On today's episode, we're in the Daingeon 2.0 upstairs to check out a brand new UST projector from BenQ. This is the V5000i. Stick around.
Nice to be in orbit.
All right, everybody, thanks for joining me again. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe below. Like I mentioned, we are in the Daingeon 2.0, which is the UST projector test station here in the Daingeon. Today, we're checking out the V5000i, which is a triple laser ultra short throw projector from BenQ. This thing has 2,500 lumens, and you can put it just inches away from the wall and still get that 100-inch big screen that you've been looking for in your home theater. So if you have a small space like this and you're still interested in getting a projector set up, this is the video for you. So stick around today while I compare this projector and all of its great features. Like I said again, make sure you hit that like and subscribe, and let's get going. Alright, so let's begin this video talking about what the V5000i actually is. So just so everybody's aware, this is a laser TV or a ultra short throw projector. This is a projector that you can put just inches away from the wall in front of you and project a 100-inch image on a big screen. This projector is BenQ's first RGB laser TV projector, specifically designed for those who want to upgrade from an LED TV and traditional projectors. So you can still view all of your content with a 100-inch big screen. You can even use it in bright living rooms. It works great. It has an ALR screen which is awesome. The installation is super easy, which I'll go over a little bit later in the video. But ultimately, this thing offers an all-in-one solution. So you don't even have to have a sound system set up in order to enjoy this projector the most. It has 40-watt speakers built in with some subwoofers. It gives really good bass levels. And the HDR-pro technology that this projector uses puts an awesome image on the screen, and it handles all sorts of formats. So whether you're watching something like sports in standard definition on cable, or that 4K Blu-ray disc that you love, you're gonna get great color accuracy and excellent picture quality. The specs on this thing are pretty impressive, with a brightness and ANSI lumens of 2500, an RGB laser light source for those 3 lasers to get that color accuracy, keystone adjustment, DCI P3 coverage, Rec 709, tons of picture modes, super low input lag as well for gaming, which I'll touch upon later also, and 3 different HDMI ports that support tons of different formats. Not to mention it's got great audio technology, which we'll preview in the video, but it's not a huge device either. I mean, obviously these things encompass a lot of different systems, so you have to find a spot for them that it'll fit. But really, if you consider it's your TV, it's your sound system, it's your media streaming device all in one, it's a pretty compact package. The V5000 comes in at a price point of around $34.99, but you also get some options through BenQ, and especially if you use the links that I have attached below, that you can get the free ALR screen as well as some installation options if you don't want to install the screen yourself. So it actually has a pretty good deal going on right now. I recommend you check it out. BenQ has had other UST projectors in the past, the V7050, which I reviewed on my channel before. I'll also leave a link to that projector below. But this one's got that new technology, that triple laser technology. So let's go ahead and unbox this thing and see what it's all about. So this projector comes with 2 packages, one for the projector and one for the ambient light rejecting screen. Both of these come packaged really well. The projector looked great. It came with a few accessories, which I'll go over here. First off, there's 2 remotes, one for the projector on the left, backlit, standard Android type remote, and then one for the QS02, which I'll go over. That's the media stick. That's the Android remote. It also comes with a power cable, some batteries, and your instruction manual. Now the projector looks great. This thing is huge. Keep in mind, it's encompassing all of those features, the sound system, the media stick, you name it. It looks really nice. It's got a great felt charcoal cover covering the front bezel so you don't see any of the speakers. The plastic is super nice. It's got a textured feel to it. The power button is made of aluminum. It's got an LED in there so you know when it's powered on or in standby mode. And then it has all your different insignia across it showing you which features it has. On the left side, you have your air exit along with 2 adjustment feet for when you're setting it up. And on the right, you have your air intake with 2 adjustment feet. And then right above that intake grill, you have your media reader or USB 2.0 port. This thing measures roughly 30 inches across, 14 back to front, 6.5 tall, and it weighs roughly 29.14 pounds. On the back, you have a USB port, 3 HDMI ports, an SPDIF, an audio out, a service port, RC232, a trigger, and your power input. One of the cool features about these HDMI ports is that it accepts a 4K 120Hz signal via the HDMI 2.0B ports. You have eARC and it supports 7.1 channel with Dolby Atmos. Taking a look at the top of the projector, on the left-hand side, there's a little lens so you can do the auto fit feature when you're fitting the image to your screen. In the center, you have your normal UST laser lens, along with some sensors for eye protection. On the rear left corner of the projector, you have a square cover. This gives you access to the mini HDMI cable along with the power cord via micro USB. You can actually undo this cover and install the QS02 media stick. So that's the new device. QS02 is the media streaming device that BenQ sends you. It has things like Netflix, all of your different YouTube apps, Amazon Prime, you name it, and it's all controlled by this remote. You can use the other remote as well, but they both work just fine. This is the QS02 here. It's easy to install. Just put it underneath the cover and button it up. Moving on to the second box that BenQ sends you, this is the ambient light rejecting screen. This is a 100-inch screen, comes with everything you see here, all the hardware, all of the different extensions needed to support the screen. I would say all in all, this process took me roughly an hour and a half, and I took my time to set up the entire screen. You'll see it time-lapsed here. I just put it in a nice big open area, worked around it, put a little bit of music on in the background, and made sure this thing went together based on what the instructions show. The instructions are super clear. You can also go on BenQ's website and watch a little YouTube video that they have of how to install everything. The next step in this installation of the screen process, as long as you follow the manual, is fairly simple. Now, I would recommend using 2 people to do this installation. Unfortunately, I didn't have a second person, but fortunately, I've installed a million of these different projector screens, so I kind of know what to expect. But ultimately, you'll need some tools, along with a power drill, some drill bits, and all of that information is in the BenQ manual. Just got to make sure you follow it close, use the dimensions that it gives you so you can get the right measurements from the top of your cabinet and the top of the projector, and you can get that screen set up right in the exact location so you can get that perfect 100-inch image. It took me about another hour to hang this on the wall. The optional screen they sell with the V5000i is a 100-inch corner-to-corner ALR high 1.4 gain Fresnel screen. I know that's a lot to say. You can look it up. It's called the BenQ SNS21. It's awesome for any areas that you're going to have some ambient light. So obviously ALR, ambient light rejecting, keeps any type of light in the area minimal. That way you get the best picture quality, and it can still continue to show you that great tone mapping, the white balance, good HDR, and a bright image even when the lights are on or you have a little bit of sunlight. Super nice screen, very high quality. The material is nice. All the structure around it that supports the screen is heavy duty aluminum, and the hardware is perfect. They give you just enough plus a few extras to really make this projector screen come together and work well with the V5000. Now, truth be told, not every wall is going to be perfectly flat or perfectly plumb, so you do have to plan for a little bit of adjustment when it comes to installing a projector screen. Luckily, BenQ makes that pretty easy. They have a ton of different options in order to set up your projector screen so it can fit your individual media room needs. Now that we have the projector correctly positioned and set up, let's take a look at what the image looks like in a few different lighting scenarios. This first example shows the V5000i with the windows open and the lights on. The second example is when I close the windows and just leave one light on. And the final example is with all of the windows closed and the lights off, which is the ideal setting for this projector. Here's some more footage with all of the windows open while I'm doing some gaming. And here's an example of all of the windows closed with the lights off while I'm playing some games as well. Like most of my BenQ videos, I want to go through and show you all of the different settings in the user interface that BenQ has to offer. You'll start with your picture modes, which has bright, living room, game, bright cinema, filmmaker mode, cinema rec 709, and user. You can adjust the details, on and off, the brightness, the contrast, color, tint, sharpness, and it has advanced color settings where you can really get deep into the color temperature tuning and color management. The audio selections are there as well: cinema, music, game, sports, and user, so you can adjust it to your exact settings that you want for your room. You have different sound modes, you can mute it, you have left and right switches, and you can even output it to a sound system. Your aspect ratios are there, and 3D. Yep, that's right. This projector handles 3D just fine. Looks perfect with Alita Battle Angel, one of my favorite films to test. The V5000i is incredibly customizable. You can go through all of these settings, adjust them how you want, and get them dialed in exactly how you need them in your media room. Obviously, I have a lot of playing around to do since I've only used this projector for roughly 1 hour or so, but I know that it's there. It has some great features. Your game mode, so you can make sure you capitalize on that low latency, especially if you want to play a game that's capable of 1080p 120 Hz. Just remember that it takes a 4K 120 Hz signal and downscales it to 1080p 120 Hz. Now, I didn't notice a huge difference when it did this downscaling. I still thought the image was sharp. I thought the gameplay was incredibly fast. And that low latency, along with that ALLM feature, is incredible. It makes this projector highly competitive when gaming, especially for first-person shooters. And I think that any gamer that uses this projector will have a great time trying this out in a competitive atmosphere. All right, so the next thing that I wanted to do was compare the V5000i side by side with the V7050i. Both BenQ projectors are ultra short throw projectors. The V7050i is a single laser and the BenQ V5000 is a triple laser. So check out some of this side-by-side footage. So side-by-side, the differences look pretty dramatic, but I'll be honest with you, looking at the black levels in this, they both have great saturation when it comes to the colors mixed with that black level, and everything kind of pops real nice. Obviously, you can do some adjustments and maybe fine-tune the image on the V5000 to get something closer to the V7050's look or vice versa, but ultimately they both perform really well. The triple laser technology in the V5000 does offer, I think, a little bit brighter image and more color accuracy, but the V7050 also has its pros because it's a nice and bright projector as well. It's really just going to come down to what do you like more, and for a lot of people, I think the V5000 will work out better because you have multiple screen adjustment options, so you can pretty much put it in any spot in your room and get a good, accurate picture on the screen. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me here on the Daingeon today, and I hope you enjoyed the review of the BenQ V5000i. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check out this projector on their website and buy it if you're interested. Otherwise, if you have any questions about today's review, make sure you leave it in the comments below. Thanks for joining me here on the Daingeon, and I'll talk to you guys next time.